I'm a reader, and interestingly enough, timing in life is everything. And I came across the cover of a book, and it said, basically, so can I wear my nose ring to my interview? And it struck me that some things that I think are obvious to some are not really obvious to others. So I guess I just wanted to see what your thoughts are on interview etiquette.
Sure.
What do I wear? Do I show up an hour early, 15 minutes
Yes.
early? How do I wrap up an interview? What's my little closing elevator speech?
Yes.
Those things.
Yeah, interviews, really do have rules behind them. And sometimes the rules we take for granted, again, may not be generalized or may not be aware. Especially, it depends on the generation, too. We've got generation gaps as to what's appropriate for an interview situation. I would say one of my biggest interview peeves is someone bringing a cell phone and having it go off. So absolutely turn off the cell phones. Make sure that before you've gone into the interview, even before you've gone into the reception area, you have your cell phone turned off. Arrive 10 to 15 minutes early. I would say don't arrive 45 minutes early. I've had some clients and I've had some people who interviewed with me who arrived way too early and then made me feel like I was on their clock as opposed to being on theirs. So I think it's incredibly important to recognize the interviewer's time is important on one side of the equation, but also not to arrive overly early too.
Yeah.
And make them feel like they've got to change their schedule to accommodate you. So I would say also, in addition to arriving 10 to 15 minutes early, you're going to want to do a dry run in advance, mapping out where the company is. Just common practical protocol that sometimes we forget. And our MapQuest or our GPS takes us elsewhere. So you really want to make sure you know where the company is so you can arrive 10 to 15 minutes early. The other thing is in greeting the receptionist along the way. Everyone that you come in contact with deserves wonderful intro, warm welcome. Even if the receptionist is rude, you still want to indulge her. You still want to be as diplomatic as you possibly can be. Because that receptionist may remember you, or that person who came in and greeted you that wasn't necessarily a part of the interview team may say, I really want to work with that person. I had a wonderful conversation with them. You should hire them. So, I would say as far as interview etiquette, as you're first walking in, very, very important to make a grand and wonderful welcoming exit or entrance and exit. So that part was covered. The other thing about interview etiquette is, of course, don't chew gum during the interview. I mean, people, you think they would know that, and any sort of alternative, kinds of things like, if you've got a very tacky necklace on, or if you're showing a little bit of cleavage, or you're wearing interview attire that's more casual than it is professional, look at what is considered standard interview attire. Even if your generation may, dictate something a little more business casual, try to always step it up a grade. I would say always, kind of dress a grade above the company's dress code. So, I mean, not necessarily coming in with a top hat and cane and three-piece suit. You want to be careful about that. But
sure.
Yeah, but so really try to dress for success. Standard kind of cliche sort of thing, but it's very, very true. And also ask someone before you leave, to come to the interview. Ask a career advisor, or come in with your interview attire and say, how does this look? So it's always good getting a second person's opinion.
Sure.
So those are some of the interview etiquette rules, I would say. They're very simple ones.